The time has come to ban cell phones in the classrooms. Hey, wait a minute. A blanket ban of cell phones in class would not be smart. These are the two titles of op-eds published in the two biggest newspapers in Canada just a couple of days ago. But it's not only Canada that's discussing and debating about these things. There are many other countries, like Ireland. There's schools in Ireland that don't allow smartphones anymore into the school. The Parliament in Scotland has been debating about the same issue. And the Minister of Education in New South Wales in Australia issued a review into the non-educational use of mobile devices in New South Wales schools. And France banned the smartphones and all mobile devices for anybody who's 15 years or younger, starting from this September. But why do we talk about these things right now? One reason, of course, is that everybody has a smartphone or mobile device, any teenager in our schools. The second thing is that, the learning achievement has not really got any better. Whether you look at your national assessments or international comparisons, students don't read as they used to read. Their mathematics scores are not the way they should be, and overall learning has not improved. In many places, it has declined. Look at literacy in my own country, Finland, or in Iceland, where kids don't read anymore as they used to. Many people say that this is because of the smartphones that they carry with them. And then, of course, the third reason for why we talk about these things is the declining mental health and well-being of young people. Professor Jean Twenge, who teaches at the San Diego State University near here, found that between 2010 and 2015, 33% more young teenagers say that they feel useless or joyless. And at the same time, 50% more teenagers had severe mental issues. In Australia, Michael Craig found that 1 out of 4 of high school students and 1 out of 7 primary school students have mental health problems. In Finland, my own country, children's and young people's mental health issues are all-time high. In Canada, Alberta, 85 to 90% of teachers report that they have seen during the past 5 years increasing number of young people coming to school with some type of social, mental or behavioral problems. And if you look at around the world in your own countries, you will see that young people are not doing well. They don't sleep as they should. Very few young people eat healthy food as they should, and they are not happy. So what should we do? Should we ban smartphones in the school or do something else? I think we as educators, we can do better. So I have a 5-step plan for you to take away. 5 simple things that I argue would improve children's well-being, happiness, and how they sense the school. The first one is to help children to sleep more. The interesting thing is that if you look at the statistics, in almost any country, many teenagers spend more time with the screens, with their smartphones and mobile devices than they sleep every day. Any pediatrician would say that a teenager should sleep 9 to 11 hours every day to grow up healthy and learn. So let's have a program with our children of sleeping. Let's give sleep time as a homework. How about that? 2 hours every day more sleep. That would make a thing. The second thing is to find a way to limit the screen time. The total ban is probably not a good idea. It's not an educational solution. But we can work with parents and young people to put limits, teach them the goods and bads of using technology. Okay? And the third one is to play more outside. Free play, physical activity every day outdoors. This country, the United States of America, has only a handful of states that have issued any regulations for recess or physical activity in their schools. The prison inmates have more outdoor activity every day than primary school children in this country, and many others. In Finland, we have issued a regulation where every school has to offer at least 1 hour physical activity every day to all the children, plus the fair amount of freezes that they have on the top of that. The fourth thing, is to read more. And not read your tablet, read the books. Read a book a month or 2 books a month if you can. Let's launch a campaign and bring books back to, particularly to boys. Boys will not do that alone, but they will do it together if we find a way how to do that. We can have a competition, school-to-school competition, who reads more. Just like we can have a competition who sleeps more, who plays more. Those are great things to do. In my country, again, we have found that we have very, very few minority of boys who read anymore for pleasure. So we have to bring books back to boys. And my fifth and final step of this five-step plan is to write a letter to somebody you love. Don't send an SMS to your grandmother. Write a letter, a postcard, once a week. Very few people, young people actually can do that anymore. To sit down and take a pen and think about somebody they love and think about themselves, what has happened to them. What would I tell about myself to somebody else if I would write a letter? Writing a letter is an effort. And it will help young people many things. I argue that if we do these 5 things, it's a much better way to do the same thing as a total ban of anything would do. That's not the thing that young people like. So what's behind of all of these things that I'm talking to you? I think the key thing we need to do with our children is to teach them to live safe and healthy and happy lives. And one way to do that is to teach them how to concentrate. And why to concentrate is so important. There was a big, interesting and important study that started 50 years ago in New Zealand, where the group of researchers were following 1,000 people from one village or one town several decades. And they found something interesting, that the most significant factor explaining the success of any individual is the self-control, particularly concentration on things. And those people, out of this sample that was researched, who had a kind of a ability to control themselves and concentrate, were doing much better than others. And this ability to concentrate often exceeded IQ and socioeconomic background. So that's why I'm proposing you to work with your young people in the schools to sleep more, move more, spend less time with the screens, read more books, and write a letter to your grandmother. Thank you.